What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how to get good centering on a rim and a wheel. Alright, got some good tips and tricks on that, so check it out. What's up, YouTube? It's me, R&D Lee. And today we're going to be talking about wheel centering. So we're kind of going to do a series maybe on some wheel balancing and things like that. But one thing that I have found is, people obviously mix and match maybe a tire from one brand, a hub from another, getting stuff all over the place. And occasionally, in general, everything should fit and center perfectly. Occasionally that doesn't happen. Maybe the tire inside diameter is a little bit oversized, or this is a little bit undersized. So this just gives you some tips and tricks using stuff that you have around the house, because that's the whole idea of this segment of In the Ghetto. So what I got, everyone has electrical tape, or you could use duct tape, you could really use any tape, it doesn't actually matter, but I'm using electrical, and a knife, alright? So basically what I'm going to do is I am just going to say, in theory, these are both MBS parts, so in general you're going to get a good fit. Maybe whatever, years ago something, whatever, doesn't fit, compatibility, who knows, but if that happens, this is what you're going to do. But anyway, this is a good fit, so it's not the best example, but anyway, these are the parts that I have on hand, so that's what I'm going to show you. So in theory, what if your diameter is a little bit too small and it kind of shifts over a little bit so your tire is not quite well centered? Well, we're going to build that diameter up. So there could be a number of ways to do it. Maybe you could do, I don't know, glue or something like that. Probably not. But the way that I am suggesting, that I've tested, is just using tape to build it up. So my key is, obviously, if you have really thick tape and your rim is really, really thin, that's going to be a pain. But what I suggest is actually taking your knife, alright, and we'll show a close-up of this just so you can kind of see what's going on, but taking your knife and actually cutting the line in it about the same distance. So this thickness of the rim right there that's about 4 millimeters. So I'm going to do this. You'd rather it too narrow than too wide. So I'm going to do roughly what's 4 millimeters, and I'm going to go and I'm going to cut before I've actually peeled the tape off. I'm going to cut into this. So I'm just going to roll this guy around. Okay, so we're there. So now what that's done is it allows me to go ahead and peel off strips of this little guy, okay, like that. So I'm gonna, well, actually I'll just use that. I was gonna cut it off, but don't need to. So now we're gonna actually use that to kind of tape onto the rim, whatever rim you got. Bam. So basically what I'm doing, just get that nice and straight, and now you just kind of like twist. I'm just kind of eyeballing it around as I twist. There's my little thin, ugly spot. Don't like that. So I'm just going to keep going around. So like I said, this doesn't really, it's not too critical. It's just kind of taking up space. And the nice thing about tape is it's got a very consistent thickness. So you don't really worry about how wide your strip is. It just needs to be consistent thickness, and tape is consistent thickness. So the thickness of this tape is 0.17 millimeters thick. So if you knew exactly, if you could measure a good diameter, then you could, kind of calculate it. But I think it's probably better, because it's almost impossible to actually measure the diameter of a tire accurately. So you think, okay, just go in there and measure it. Well, it doesn't really work, and they're never like quite centered when they're actually off the hub. It's not until they kind of like go on the perfect size hub to where they actually kind of spread out and up and onto the rim that they really become perfectly true. So measuring, very difficult. So you're just going to be doing, I'd say, well, however much you think you need. Maybe you do one, that's one go. I'd maybe start with a couple goes. Maybe have it go 2 times around potentially. And then if it's too thick, then obviously it's not going to fit in. And then you can just peel a little bit off. So maybe start with 4, I don't know. 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to do. Slicing it off, patting it down, and then you're gonna check to see if it actually kind of fits in there. So you've built up that rim, and you're gonna see if this guy fits in there. Like I said before, my guy was about a perfect fit. So this is very difficult, but I can cram it on actually. You know, with enough pushing, I can actually get that guy in there. But like I said, if you have one that's, you know, really kind of a bad fit, then you're going to want to put more strips on there, and that's pretty much it. With that, like I said, you're bulking out that rim, and you're going to get a perfect kind of centering on that. That's pretty much it. Using electrical tape, knife, and the parts that you have there. This whole segment is in the ghetto. It's using stuff that you have at home to get your board running as smooth as possible. Thanks for your time. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think. Have you had experience with it? Other than that, I'll see you next time.